Moderator Suhas, my colleagues from the MEA, John Cherian, my good friend, if I may say so, and the High Commissioner from Bangladesh, and Captain Kekabad and Mrs. Kekabad, and also the co-owner, Mr. Modak, ladies and gentlemen. I was thinking, it was Blaise Pascal, the French philosopher, who said, Cleopatra's nose, had it been shorter, the whole face of the earth would have been different. Now, I was thinking, in case Captain Kekabad had not joined the Merchant Navy and had got into the Bollywood, I'm sure he would have made great films. Because between the two of them, they are producers and directors. They have made this wonderful film. Congratulations. Now, what you did was an act of heroism. After all, you could have just brought the ship empty. By bringing in people, you are taking on responsibility. Quite apart from you lose the insurance if you have a passenger, if you are a merchant vessel. So, it was a combination of heroism and humanism. You cared. That's why you did it. Now, I don't want to say more because I am so much there. So, let me recall one or two things. One is that, that was the time when the government, the union government in Delhi and the state governments and all the agencies, we acted with absolute trust in each other. We got permission from the Security Council to send a shipload of food to Kuwait, and I got information from the Shipping Corporation of India, such and such ship is going to be in Kochi tomorrow, and it has to leave within 24 hours. Well, what do? I rang up the Chief Secretary, said that the ship is there, we need the food. And so he said, what food? Well, what sort of food? So I said, listen, take into account that about 45 to 50% of the Indians in Kuwait are from Kerala, so you know what food. But also take into account what the non-Keralites would need. And you decide the quantities. I'm not going to tell you anything. He said, yes. Now, this is the beauty of it. He did not ask me for a letter in confirmation. He did not ask me who will pay for it. Of course, I sent him a message after the conversation, thanking him, saying that External Affairs Ministry will take care of the, cost thereof. But that was the trust. And when we had people in Amman at the airport, the Air India manager will tell me on the phone, 1,700, because we had to be very sort of economical with the telephonic talk, Well, I will ring up the Civil Aviation Secretary. Morning, sir, 1,700. Yes, Fabian. That's it. I didn't have to think about it. He would send the sufficient number of aircraft, So that was the trust, sort of thing, Now, one more thing. And he said, we had the Air India evacuation, which started, but sometime, I don't know, it was October or so anyway, when I went there to Amman, I was having breakfast, and the Air India manager came to me with a very long face. So I said, what happened? Sit down and have coffee with me. No, sir. No breakfast. Why? Yesterday they walked out on me. So he was quite emotional. Then I got the story right. The passengers were late in arriving, not their fault, because they were coming from different parts of the city and outside the city. And they were coming by bus, and the Jordanian police had the wonderful habit of stopping the bus, finding out how many people are there, looking at your face and looking at your passport photograph about 10 times. And if you do that for 120 passengers, old people, babies, and if another policeman stops you after another 5 kilometers, you can imagine that the passengers will not reach on time. So what happened was that Air India crew was ready, as usual, for 6 o'clock, and the last passenger came in at 9:30. So they walked out, saying that if we now fly, we shall be on duty for so many hours, which is beyond the stipulated and all that, and what is this? So he wanted me, the manager, who had the, to find accommodation and all that sort of thing for those passengers. He told me that, sir, you should speak to the crew. So I said, let me think about it. So what I did was, instead of speaking to the crew, I spoke to the Hindu correspondent, and I want to thank the Hindu group for that. John Cherin is sitting there. Firdaus Kirgamwala, did you know him?
Yes, your former colleague.
That's right. He was in the media, then he came to the Foreign Service, then he went back to the media. So he was in Bahrain, so I called him from Amman and told him, Firdaus, I want you to carry a story. Okay, what's the story? Story is that Air India has risen up to the occasion, national emergency. We have to evacuate our people. So, as far as Air India is concerned, even if the passengers come 1 hour late or 7 hours late, doesn't matter. Even if they have to be on duty non-stop for 10 hours or 20 hours, it doesn't matter. And all of us, those of us in the government and those of us who are not in the government, we all have to learn from Air India. So he laughed. Fabian, is it true? I said, it will be true if you carry the story. Then he said, but how can I carry the story? I said, simple. You just quote verbatim a senior joint secretary in Government of India. Nobody will find fault with you if it's a flop, because you trusted a joint secretary. It's natural. Well, the next morning, the Air India manager came with a big smile. Sir, there is no problem. They have told me that there will never be any problem. So, very innocently, I said, what happened? Oh, they say that there was some media report praising Air India. That's it. So, praise people, you get a lot. And without seeking anything in return, I praise you.